What's up, y'all? This is Master P. I just want to tell y'all subscribe to PIPERBOY Williams, your verified source of battle rap and entertainment. You heard me?
Shout out to everybody. I want to talk to y'all real quick. I'm seeing a lot, right? I'm seeing Hitman, he's marketing on Twitter. I see Eazy the Block Captain marketing on Twitter. I see Eazy the Block Captain and Remy Ma. They went on the Joe Budden podcast. And, you know, it's a lot of talk, right? So we got Eazy the Block Captain. He's on the Joe Budden podcast, and he's saying things like, I want to bring back or restore the feeling of when battlers are in each other's faces. They talking, calling each other out of their names. He's saying a lot, right? As far as what I think Hitman had already dealt with a lot of that through, you know, a lot of different eras. My personal opinion, right? But Eazy, like, when he gets into his mode and he's talking, people gonna listen, and he talk different, you know? So I don't know. You know, I can't say Hitman ain't really been through that because he has. As far as some other things that Eazy the Block Captain is talking about on the Joe Budden podcast, right? He's saying things like, you know, I faced better competition than Hitman Holla is what he's saying, right? So I kind of looked and, you know, so you got Hitman Holla versus Calico. And this battle happened a little bit over a year ago. And then you got, you know, Calico versus Eazy the Block Captain. This battle happened a year ago, right? And you look at the level of competition. So you look at Calico's performance versus Hitman. You look at how Calico was with each opponent. In my opinion, I felt like Calico's first was a lot better with Eazy the Block Captain than his first was with Hitman Holla, right? His second round is debatable. You can say Calico's second round may have been better against Hitman Holla than it was with Eazy the Block Captain, and you can go either way with that, right? And then Calico's third round obviously was better with Hitman Holla than it was with Eazy the Block Captain. So I'm looking at that one, and I would say, you know, it may seem like Calico is a little bit more competitive with Eazy the Block Captain because it was a small room environment. In my opinion, I was in the building for that. So it's like a small room environment, whereas, you know, Hitman Holla and Calico was on a big stage, and Hitman was kind of wilding in that battle. You know, like, y'all got me battling somebody that was sleeping on showroom floor. And then I went and copped that Benz off that showroom floor, like, on stage. Like, he's talking crazy, right? So, like, you know, the battle I felt like was a little bit more impactful with Hitman versus Calico than it was with Eazy versus Calico. But if I'm looking at who was the better competition, like who, you know what I mean? Like who Calico was better with, I kind of think that's negligible, right? Because Eazy didn't have that great of a performance like Hitman did in that battle, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Just my opinion, you know what I mean? Eazy, somebody else could be thinking different. So I think that one's kind of a wash. You know, some people probably would say Calico may have been a little bit better versus Eazy, but then how was Eazy's performance in relation to Hitman Holla's performance? You know, how was everything, the setting, how did everything look? I think that one's kind of a wash, right? And then you got K-Shine versus Hitman Holla. This battle happened about 5 years ago. I was in a building for that one. I was tweeting and everything. I was in a building for that one, right? And that battle got like 4.4 million views, right? And then Hitman Holla and Calico got 2.3 million. Still good. But K-Shine and Hitman, 4.4 billion views, but it's been out for 5 years. And you got Eazy the Block Captain versus K-Shine, right? So if I'm looking at both battles, you know, when I was watching Hitman versus K-Shine, it was a different feeling from me watching Eazy the Block Captain versus K-Shine, right? I felt like Eazy the Block Captain edged the battle with K-Shine. You know, I think he had to walk on water, PCP, like whatever. I think he edged the battle with K-Shine. When I was watching Hitman and K-Shine, I felt like Hitman kind of walked through that battle. Because y'all remember, like, the marketing, like, who's the better performer?
A gruesome death. He has to die. A gruesome one, bro. Like, and I'm a slow flow this shit out of it. Mad slow, just like this. Rap into him. You're done.
K-Shine saying he don't want, you know, his family members talked about in the battle, and then Hitman walked right up to him and said, like, whatever. You know, so, you know, Hitman was shaking the building, like, in that battle. You know, could it be Hitman Holla, his level of performance was so much different than what Eazy the Block Captain did, it kind of minimized what K-Shine was doing, and it may make it look like K-Shine had, was more competitive with Eazy the Block Captain. It's kind of how you want to look at it, but in my opinion, it looked like to me that battle may be a wash, so if I really want to like get super technical, I feel like K-Shine might have been a little bit more competitive with Eazy, but like you got to add other elements to it. They on stage, this is Irvin Platt, it's a different situation, and Hitman is not home. I'm not saying Eazy home, but he not home. New York don't really, they don't, URL, they don't really rock with him like that. So he's got to fight a lot of elements when he's on stage with somebody that's a fan favorite like K-Shine, and he buried Shine. So it's a couple different, so that might be a wash. So I can't really say Hitman Holla had a less competition than Eazy the Block Captain. It just might have looked different because of how Hitman was in the battle. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Cassidy versus Hitman, right? So if you look at Eazy the Block Captain going up against Chess, overall, Chess's performance was better than Cassidy's performance. I'm not saying nothing bad about Cassidy, I like Cassidy's first round with the Spalding. Everybody's debating that battle. And then Hitman, he had some mistakes with the Mario games and all, so people were debating that. But overall, like, who had the better competition? Was it, but then we nitpicking, like, right? So, yeah, Eazy the Block Captain versus Chess. Chess was, his performance was a lot better than Cassidy's. But then if you look at, Danny Myers, like his performance, some people can argue was better than Cassidy's. But then you look at Goods, Cassidy's performance was better than Goods. So it's kind of like, if you look at the two, if I'm looking at Danny Myers, right, if that's the battle I'm picking, and I'm picking, Eazy the Block Captain and Chess, Block Captain and Chess, I'm going to say Chess was the more difficult competition, right? And then you got Tay-Rock versus Hitman Holla, right? So Tay-Rock versus Hitman Holla, this battle happened about 4 years ago, right? 3.4 million views. That's pretty good for a battle that happened about 4 years ago, right? So if I'm looking at Tay-Rock's performance and I'm looking at Danny Myers' performance, right? I didn't feel like Tay-Rock really tried that hard in that battle. I felt like Hitman Holla kind of walked through that battle. That was a 30. Whereas Eazy the Block Captain, he kind of, he's fighting with Danny Myers. Danny Myers didn't go down without a fight, right? Even T-Top, you look at T-Top, his performance versus, Eazy the Block Captain, if you want to bring him into it, I feel like, as far as Rock, I didn't think he did, either way you may go with Eazy the Block Captain having more competition that's competitive, right? Versus, what Hitman Holla had versus Rock. Then you got to look at maybe Hitman Holla versus Bill Collector. If you look at Goods versus Eazy the Block Captain, I don't think that was more competition than what Hitman faced with Bill Collector. And this is when Hitman Holla, the first round, he's trying to bar Bill Collector out. And, he had a battle with Casino. He's barring and he's experimenting with doing that instead of just the performance-based battling, and this is when people are like, yo, Hitman, like, he got a pen, he can write, and that's a debatable battle with a lot of people. Some people say Hitman Holla won the battle, and some people say Bill Collector won the battle. My personal opinion, I felt like Bill Collector won the battle. That Bill Collector was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who had the better competition? I would say Hitman Holla, but then you can look at Hitman Holla just went up against a dude named KD, and you got to look at different Eazy battles that he had. Like, I don't know, I can't necessarily say Eazy's right, but if you just look at the battles at a glance and you don't really add in a lot of elements, you can say, like, as of recent, within the past 4 years, you can say Eazy the Block Captain may have had better competition, but when you add in the other elements, it's kind of negligible. It's kind of a wash because Hitman's performance was so much higher than some of his competition at that time, right? But then if you go before that, you got to start looking at Sue Surf. You got to start looking at, then the game starts changing, right? To where you can't really say that because he's standing in front of Surf, which gave you like a crazy classic, so I think it's negligible. So what do I think about this battle, right? I'm going to be completely honest. In a small room, people probably would go ahead and say Eazy the Block Captain will probably win against Hitman Holla. That's initially what I would have thought, until I seen Hitman Holla versus KD, right? It wasn't like a major battle or nothing like that. And KD's not like a super high level top tier opponent. Like he's not, you know, but what I seen from Hitman Holla in that small room was scary. Let's keep it real, you know, and he's kind of just like, he wrote that quick. You know, we don't know if he did. Maybe he could have wrote it like early on. Like, we don't know, you know, but it looks like he freestyled, you know, some of it and wrote some of it, you know, but he was kind of scary in that small room. And he showed you the power of Hitman Holla, what he can do in a small room, you know, so I wouldn't say Eazy the Block Captain would wash Hitman Holla in a small room. And he's battled a lot of people. He battled Bill Collector in a small room. I've seen him battle Casino in a small room, you know, so he can, well, that wasn't that small of a room, but it's not like an Irving Plaza, right? So, but, you know, I've seen Eazy on multiple different stages. As far as Hitman Holla in a small room, I don't know. I can't say Eazy would wash him. I don't think so. You know, I think Hitman is more dangerous than people want to give him credit for. As far as Hitman Holla on a big stage, this is the problem, right? So, you got Eazy the Block Captain. We've seen what he can do on a big stage. He got some good performances on a big stage. Him versus Chess. You know, everybody wanted to sit and listen who talks different, the bars, you know what I mean? All that. You know, I think Eazy did very well on a big stage with him. You know, kind of a medium-sized stage, him and Calico, I think he did all right. You know, but when you talking about Hitman Holla, you know what I mean? Like, this dude sells out events, like venues. Like, just him alone, you know, when he starts going crazy, like that building starts shaking, it's different. You know what I mean? I know you talk different, Eazy, but can't I rock with you, Eazy? You know, he just, when Hitman is talking, it's a lot of power behind what he's saying. The bar, everything that he's putting together, like the perform, it's a lot of power behind what he's saying. So when Hitman's talking here, he's talking money. He's talking accolades, what he's been through. Eazy can talk about stuff like that, right? I've been on The Fresh Prince. I've been in, you know what I mean? It's like the 10. It's like a TV series or something like that. He was chilling with Idi Amin from the Outlaws, and Tupac, and you know what I mean? All that. You know, he got things he could talk about, like where he is. He's undefeated right now. Like what he's been doing when Hitman wasn't active. He got a lot of things he could talk about. But when Hitman starts talking, you know, I'm just being real. It ain't what you might think. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know what I mean? Eazy the Block is very, very smart. And he knows like what he's getting into with his opponents. He may spend 8 hours a day writing for his opponent, studying his opponent. He's not in all these like spaces acting a fool like everybody else and doing all kind of crazy interviews. Yeah, he's gonna do promo with Remy Ma. With Remy Ma. She's an artist, hip-hop artist. You got Hitman Holla, he got bags and bodies. He putting people on and giving people a name, and you know what I'm saying? Still, when you hear Hitman Holla, it's synonymous with success. You know, and like history and views, and you know, it's a lot that goes along with this guy. You know, so you can, you know, I'm not saying you, Eazy, but people can hate on Hitman all they want. But when it comes down to who he is, what he stood in front of, the moments that we had, the classics that everybody watched, not true. I come around, you can, do not what? He started talking crazy, told me the contract said I can't hear him. Not you, like all that. Like that's history, you know, so... You know, I think it's difficult to combat history, but we've seen Hitman lose battles that we thought maybe he would win, you know, but I just feel like you might not, yeah, y'all talking, y'all going back and forth. This is battle banter, right? Y'all going back and forth, but don't underestimate this guy you getting on stage with. Like in New York, you know, he's got like a lot of history there. You know, yes, sometimes people don't like Hitman, but he's able to win the crowd over convincingly. You know, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen but Hitman does make mistakes. You know, he may say things like the games, like him and Averb had a 2-on-2. They mixed up Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible, you know, so he can make mistakes and people can pick at the mistakes and say that you won. Whereas Eazy is more technical. He's a tactician. He's talking to you. But when you got that electrifying, you know what I mean? Electric performance and you talking to him, you know, it's kind of, I'm interested to see how it's gonna play out. You know what I mean? As far as Eazy, he's had his electric performances. What we said, Eazy's going crazy. You know, but on that level, like what a Hitman's done, I haven't seen that yet. You know what I'm saying? But not saying we're not gonna see it on the Remy Ma card. You know, but as far as like, you know, Hitman or Eazy the Block Captain bringing back, you know, the feel of people in your face talking and all that, I think battle rap is safer than what it was like years ago. Like when Hitman and these people was battling, like and I ain't saying like you ain't tough or nothing like that. Don't take it like that. I'm just saying the crowds, the people that, you know, was around, and at that time, battle rap was, before we found out battle rap was all fake. You know, like it was more of a real feeling. Like you were kind of in danger when you in these different, you know what I mean, like crowds. You know, so they went to war with greats in wild situations. You know what I mean? Whereas now everything's controlled. It's on caffeine. It's on the app. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a lot of history with Hitman. That's all I'm saying. But as far as Eazy, can he win the battle? When I first looked at the battle, I'm like, yeah, Eazy might win. Like 2-1, 3-0 maybe. You know, but when I go back and I watch Hitman's performances and what I don't know. Like this battle could, you know, like I see Joe Budden's like he's talking about it. He just, you know, but this is Hitman. You know, he's saying that, but people might not be, you know, really picking up on what he's saying. Like it's a lot when you battling this guy, you know. So it's like you going up the ladder. Yeah, you done battle, you know, a lot of great competition. You had your 2-on-2s, right, and you won a lot of battles. But this is somebody that can win, and he can win effortlessly, right? He battled Tay-Rock. Everybody thought he was gonna lose that battle. Tay-Rock been calling Hitman Holla out since. You know what I mean? Like, he battled Rum Nitty. He been calling Hitman out. Like, I mean, before that, he been calling Hitman out. And Hitman he ain't battling like wild long. He just walked through Rock like it was nothing. No crazy material, no crazy bars. No, he just walked through him. You know, so, I don't know. You know, maybe you'll be you know what I mean, have a different type of material. It's a lot to pull from with Hitman. He's been through a lot as a recent that's been publicized, you know, that you may be able to pull from and talk about. But as far as, you know, competition-wise, like, I think Hitman is a very formidable opponent. You know what I'm saying? Very formidable. And then chess, you got to look at chess. You and chess is in gun titles. You know, so Averb said something. He was just like, yo, look at when chess battles somebody that he's not cool with. He's choking, he's throwing up. Look, Shotgun Suge, they'd have pull like Shotgun Suge off of him. You know what I mean? Like he's not the same. But when he's in a crew with you, he's more comfortable, right? Or if he's cool with you, him and Rock, he gave you a crazy performance with him and Rock, the first round versus Rock, because he's cool with Rock, you know? But if you look at Chess's, you know, his whole like, you know what I mean? Like career, if he's not super cool with you, he fumbles the bag or he fumbles the ball. You know, so you having a great performance from Chess, yeah, y'all was both fighting, but it's like, you know, it's kind of that situation. Whereas Hitman, he's going in the belly of the beast dealing with people that he ain't really cool with all like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I'm just talking about this battle's coming up. You know, but I do want to be real about it. I do feel like Hitman hasn't been really active in a long time, you know what I mean? Like over a year, and he's not consistently active. Yeah, we paying attention to Eazy, but you know, it's, you know, you can forget what a person can do until they're on that stage wilding out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Who do you have winning between Eazy the Block Captain and Hitman Holla? My personal opinion, I think Eazy could win, but I don't know at this point. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll give my predictions as the card comes out and it gets closer to the date. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll go live or something like that to do that. But right now, how I'm looking at it, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I did go back. I'm sorry. I did go back and watch some of Hitman's before. I'm like, yo. You know what I mean? Eazy, this ain't going to be what you think. You know what I mean? I got Hitman losing some battles, but it ain't going to. This might not be what you think, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.